Welcome to Shots Fired. I'm Brad Freakin Nolen. Today with me I have the one and only
Nick Bell. And if you didn't get that, the one and only Nick Bell.
And the legend himself,
Travis Keen.
We are live in Cana, Virginia to bring you our Week 1 picks, as we will do every Wednesday night throughout the season. Nick, would you like to tell the listeners the stipulation regarding the picks?
Yes, first place will get to jump on third place's body, which will be laying on a table here at St. Paul School. And whoever finishes second will be the one videotaping. So how interesting will that be, Travis?
That will be very interesting to see who gets put through the table.
And it will stream on the Shots Fired Facebook page. Shout out Bill's Mafia. Cannot wait to put one of you two through the table. All right, let's get into the picks. Nick.
All right, here we go.
Take it away.
Game number 1, Falcons versus Eagles. Travis, is it a Super Bowl hangover?
Is it a Super Bowl hangover for the Eagles? No, I don't think it's a Super Bowl hangover, but everybody's going to be gunning for the Eagles this year, and they're going to get everybody's best shot. But going to the game here tomorrow night, I've got Atlanta winning a close one, 34-31 on a late Matt Bryant field goal in Philly. Got Matt Ryan throwing for about 300 yards and Devontae Freeman running for about 100.
Brad, what's your opinion?
Well, my head tells me that this is going to be a tough game for the Eagles with all the injuries they're facing. I mean, you got Wentz out, you got Ajayi's banged up, Jeffrey's out. They got so many injuries. But my heart is saying, fly, Eagles, fly, baby. I think they're going to pull out a win. Like they did all last year in the playoffs without Wentz. Nick Foles led the charge, so I think he's going to continue it and get a win on the night they raise that banner in Philadelphia.
Yes, Nick Foles did lead the charge last year in the playoffs, but this ain't the Nick Foles of the playoffs last year. He's in a little slump with no momentum right now. So I think the Falcons are going to throw the kitchen sink at him and give it everything they got. And they're going to pull away late in the fourth to win by 10. Matt Ryan is going to have a big game throwing for over 300 yards with 3 TDs. So the final score, 31-21, Atlanta. That's your final. And it'll be a good opening game to start the season. On to our second game of Week 1, Travis, the Bills versus the Ravens.
Okay, I've got the Ravens beating the Bills 26-7. I think Buffalo's going to really struggle a lot this year. They've got basically a brand new offensive line. I think Baltimore is going to have a few sacks on. Josh Allen's not even starting, is he?
Nathan Peterman.
Yeah.
Why? What are they thinking starting him?
Who is Nathan Peterman? I mean,
the guy that threw like 5 interceptions in the first half last year when they brought him in.
So yeah, I think Baltimore's going to have a few sacks on defense, and I think Joe Flacco's going to have a pretty big game. He's under a contract year, and I think he's going to get his season started off from the right foot, and I just don't see this being much of a contest.
Yeah, I got the Ravens winning this one huge. I wouldn't be surprised if they put up 40 on them. It'll be over at halftime. The Ravens just so much better than the Bills. The Bills are going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL this year, and Nathan Peterman is going to struggle against that Ravens defense.
Yeah, if you all you got is a defense against the Bills, that's all you got to have. You could beat the Bills 3-0 because that offense is terrible. So the Ravens definitely got a top 10 defense in the NFL. They won't score as many as people think. The game's gonna be closer than what Brad thinks. I think it's gonna be a game at halftime, but the Ravens will pull away with a 20-3 win. All right, on to our third game. The Jacksonville Jaguars versus the New York Giants. Very much drama from Jalen Ramsey, calling out QBs and all kinds of players over the NFL. Travis, let's start with you. Ramsey or Beckham?
Okay, I think Jalen Ramsey is better than Odell Beckham. I think both of them are studs, but I think Ramsey's going to get the better of Beckham Sunday. I still think Beckham may find the end zone once, but I don't think he'll have a lot of receiving yards in the game. Also, interesting storyline to watch is a while back, Jalen Ramsey called out Eli Manning, basically said he sucked, which I would say I would probably agree with for the most part. But Eli, if anything, should be playing with a chip on his shoulder, so that might make him play better potentially. But either way, I think Jacksonville just needs to hand the ball off to Fournette 25 to 30 times, and Blake Bortles just needs to take care of the ball. And I think they'll be fine. I think it'll be close, though. It's at New York, but I'm going to go with the Jaguars 24-20, though.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game, too. I was really torn on picking this game. I think the Giants are going to put up a fight. They're going to be a lot better this year. They've added a lot of pieces, and you got Beckham coming back. But I think Jacksonville will win a close game as long as Bortles don't throw him out of the game and they just get Fournette plenty of carries. They'll be fine.
Yes, it's going to be a tough game for Saquon Barkley. I mean, after this game, he might be thinking, what did I get into? But he's going to be held under 50 yards rushing. But Eli Manning's going to carry the offense. But that won't be enough offense. They will stay in the game. But Jacksonville will pull away. That defense is just too much. They'll get some late turnovers, collecting 2 interceptions and 1 fumble recovery in the third and fourth quarter. So I got Jacksonville pulling away 22-17. And I think Jalen Ramsey will have one of the interceptions. But we on to the fourth game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. I mean, where can we get started? The Buccaneers drafted one of the most... oh, my goodness. I don't even have words for it. Jameis Winston, one of the most troublemakers in the NFL. Suspended 3 games. And, Brad, what do you think about the Uber drivers and stuff? I mean...
Yeah, like I say, you better hide your Uber drivers in Tampa if Jameis is in town. So.
And your crab legs.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, he's coming after you. But Saints are going to blow out the Bucs. This is my lock of the week. Saints are just too good. One of my favorites in the NFC this year. But, yeah, this game should be over by halftime. Saints are just going to run all over them.
Travis, will Ryan Fitzpatrick keep the Buccaneers in the game?
I do not think Ryan Fitzpatrick will keep the Buccaneers in the game. I think the Saints' defense is too strong. And I just think Tampa's going to have a lot of short drives, a lot of 3-and-outs, possibly some turnovers as well. Wouldn't be surprised. New Orleans, I believe, will dominate the time of possession, and I think they'll win going away. I've got the final score 30-10, but honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they put up 40 or more, especially in the Dome where they always play better at, too.
Yes, the home field advantage is big to the Saints. I think they're a top 5 team at home with the crowd advantage and stuff. But all I got to say is Drew Brees is going to carry this team. He's going to be a big guy to have on fantasy week 1. Saints win by 35. On to another big game this week. The Houston Texans versus the New England Patriots. Travis, what do you got?
This is a very intriguing game, but I think New England will win a close one, 29-23. Would not be surprised if Houston won, though, but I think New England's just got a little bit too much for Houston right now, and big question mark for Houston, can they stay healthy? How would Deshaun Watson play in his first game back from injury? It's going to be interesting, but I like the Patriots at home, though.
Yeah, I think this game's going to be a shootout. I like the Texans are going to stay in it for a while, but I think the Patriots will close the door on them in the fourth. It's going to be a really good game. I can't wait to watch it. But, yeah, I got the Patriots winning probably by a late field goal.
Yes, this game was interesting last year. As you remember, the Texans had the Patriots beat, but Tom Brady had a drive late down the field to capture the win. I think Brady pulls it out again this week. He's got a golden horseshoe up his butt. But I don't know. That Houston Texans team, if they stay healthy, that'll be a very, very excellent, elite team to watch the whole season. And I'm very surprised this is a 1 o'clock game. I personally think this should have been a Sunday night or Monday night game.
I agree. Yeah. I think this should have been in place of the Chicago-Green Bay Sunday night game.
Yeah. We'll talk about that Green Bay-Chicago game later, but that game is that's a very week 1 game to have on a Sunday night to start your season off. I mean, you think the NFL would want to cap off week 1 with a big Sunday night game.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I think they just want to see Aaron Rodgers back. That's what they were thinking. Because you know what? You know what, Travis King? Aaron Rodgers is a bad man.
Yeah, but they're going to lose all their viewers when it's a blowout after the first quarter.
It might be closer than you think. Don't sleep on the Bears.
I'm sleeping on them right now. I got the Patriots pulling out, beating the Texans. So, on to the renewed San Francisco 49ers, led by Jimmy Garoppolo versus the newly led Vikings with Kirk Cousins. So, this is going to be a good quarterback matchup, I think. So, Brad, what do you got this time?
Well, I think Jimmy Garoppolo loses his first career game in the NFL. The Vikings just got too much firepower on offense and defense. I say they win by at least double digits. Vikings will just be too much for that injury-riddled 49ers team. Unfortunately, they've lost a lot of players in the preseason, but yeah, I got the Vikings. What about you, Trav?
I've got the Vikings as well, but I've got a close game, 27-24. I think it could go about either way. I wouldn't be surprised if San Fran won, but I just think Minnesota at home, I think that crowd will give them an advantage. That's one of the biggest home field advantages, I believe, in the league. And I think Kirk Cousins will outduel Jimmy, and Jimmy will be handed his first loss.
Yep, I have to agree with y'all. We have to pull out the broom because all three of us has got the Vikings beating the Niners. So we're calling that one a sweep.
But it will be close, though.
The Tennessee Titans versus the Miami Dolphins. Many people think this is a lock game, but might be surprised. We don't know. We haven't seen Ryan Tannehill play a game in a year and a half or so.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So, Brad, what do you got on this one?
I like the Titans in this one. It's pretty easy. Titans are going to be a lot better this year. They got two great running backs. Their defense is pretty good. I say the Titans win by, I'm going to say they win 31-14.
And I'm going to go with the Titans as well. I'm pretty confident they'll win. I wouldn't quite say it's a lot, but I'm pretty confident. Got Tennessee winning actually closer than what Bradley has, 25-13. Like Bradley said, Tennessee's defense is pretty good, and I like their running backs, and I'm a big fan of Marcus Mariota. Sometimes I don't think he ever gets enough recognition. I think he's a really good quarterback, very underrated. But Miami, that'll be interesting to see, though, how they are. But I like Tennessee in this game, though.
Yeah, well, a lot of bright expectations in Miami, of course, for any team starting off week one. I mean, every team's goal is to win the Super Bowl week one. So I think maybe having that first home game, they might be a little fired up and keep it closer than what everybody thinks. And depending on the weather, if it's rainy down there, definitely advantage to Miami. So depends on the weather a lot too. I'm gonna go with Tennessee still winning. It's gonna be a 10-point game, 20-10 Tennessee. So we're gonna move on to the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Indianapolis Colts. So Andy Dalton versus Andrew Luck. Travis, what you got?
I have got the Colts winning by 2 touchdowns, 28-14. I'm pretty confident about this game, too, as long as Andrew Luck can stay in the game and stay healthy. Just not a big fan of Cincinnati this year. Never been a big believer. Never been a big fan of Andy Dalton. I think their defense, to me, is not even average. And I think Andrew Luck being back for the Colts, and especially that game being at Lucas Oil Stadium, I think that'll be a big advantage for the Colts, and they'll be excited to see Luck back, and I'll look for him to have a big game. And I just don't see it being too much of a contest.
Well, guys, this is my upset of the week. I have Cincinnati going into Lucas Oil and picking up a W. I think that D-line of Cincinnati is going to get after Luck. Colts have a horrible offensive line. They tried to upgrade this year in the draft, but Luck's going to be running for his life all game. And then on offense for the Bengals, Joe Mixon's just going to run wild on that Colts defense. So I like the Bengals in this one.
Oh, yes, Brad. We're both picking an upset. I got the Bengals winning, too. I just think Andy Dalton's going to connect with A.J. Green with 2 TDs. A.J. Green's going to have a big day with about 80 receiving yards with the 2 TDs. I think John Ross will be sneaky good in this game. Maybe a good flex player to pick up this week. But I got Cincinnati winning by 14.
The Bengals look good in the preseason, guys. So don't sleep on them. And then also got to remember, Luck hasn't played football in over a year and a half. So he's going to be rusty a little bit, I'd say, going into that game. So, yeah, I like the Bengals.
Yeah, who's the Colts? They got one weapon on offense, I think, and his name is Jack Doyle. But I can't think of any dominant wide receivers or.
T.Y.'s good as long as Luck's with him, but other than that.
Yeah, T.Y., he only plays good with Luck, but Luck hasn't been in the league, so I don't know. The chemistry might be a little off to start off the season.
Yeah, it's going to take a while to get that chemistry back.
They re-signed Frank Gore, right?
No, he went to Miami, I believe.
Really?
He's
Wow.
Miami's backup.
I did not know that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a surprise. All right. So who is the running back now?
They have Marlon Mack, but he's hurt. And
Robert Turbin?
No, he's gone. Christine Michael used to be a Seattle Seahawks there. And Jordan Wilkinson, good young back. So they got some options at running back in Indianapolis, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think this is a sneaky good game. It might be one of the best games of the week.
It will be.
All right, moving on. Oh, man. The Pittsburgh Steelers going to the dog pound to play the Cleveland Browns. I mean, come on. Le'Veon Bell sitting out the off-season and all the workouts and stuff, and if he don't play this week, I mean, the Browns is a top 10 defense, so they just got to stop Juju and Antonio, and they might have this game point off an upset. I don't know. That Cleveland Browns team might surprise some people this year.
It was announced today that Le'Veon Bell's not playing week 1. So they are, well, James Connors, he's a good back, but yeah, not having Le'Veon Bell is definitely going to hurt.
I'll tell you what, the Browns are hungry for this win. I mean, they won in 31 the last 2 years. Brought Hugh Jackson into tears last year. I mean, he might have tears of joy after this game in the press game conference. That's a bold prediction right there. So if
So you picking the Browns?
I'm not picking the Browns. I'm picking the Steelers. But if they do
Wait.
pull off the upset.
Wait, in our early season prediction, you said the Browns were going to beat the Steelers
Yeah.
twice this year.
I said,
Nick Bell, you're already going back on that statement.
I've changed my mind.
Wow.
I gotta make the picks. I'm trying to not go through a table this year. So
I'm thinking about putting you through a table already for going back on your pick.
So I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers to win, even though Le'Veon isn't playing. But Travis, what you got?
I think this is a sneaky good game as well, especially being in Cleveland. But even without Le'Veon Bell, I still think Pittsburgh is a little bit better. I'm going to go 23-18 Pittsburgh in a very close game. That'll be a good game, that's for sure. And keep in mind, Cleveland's offensive coordinator now used to be the offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh too, so that'll be an interesting storyline to keep an eye on as well.
Yeah, last year Cleveland played Pittsburgh close both games, and Cleveland's even better this year. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland won, but I am picking the Steelers as well. It's hard to bet against Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster. It'll be a close game though, but yeah, give me the Steelers in that one.
All right. This was my toughest game, the pick of the week. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the Los Angeles Chargers. I don't know. I thought on this game for probably 2 days. I couldn't decide, but I finally came to a decision. I'm picking the Los Angeles Chargers. I think Mahomes is going to have a few butterflies to start the game out, be a little nervous, and might throw a couple balls high and a couple low and get off to a slow start that they won't be able to overcome. Philip Rivers, he's a veteran. I think he'll come in and dominate this game. So I got Los Angeles winning by 10. Brad, what do you got?
Well, I'm actually really confident in the Chargers in this game. It wasn't even a thought for me. I know the Chargers are going to be coming after the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, he's going to be nervous in that first game. Once he gets his wits about him throughout the year, they're going to be better, but not in week 1. Not to mention the Chiefs have a horrible defense. Philip Rivers is going to pick it apart. I like the Chargers going, I say win by at least 14. I'll say 31-17.
I've got the Chargers winning as well, but I think it's going to be a close game, divisional rivalry here. I'm going to go 26-23 Chargers. Something interesting I noticed a few weeks ago was the Chargers course, that's going back to their San Diego days, who haven't beaten Kansas City at home in like 6 or 7 seasons.
Wow.
Of course, that was with Alex Smith at the helm, and now he's in Washington. But I think Mahomes will be just fine. But Nick made some good points. He could be a little nervous and a lot of pressure on him. And Bradley made a good point. Chiefs' defense is fairly weak. So I think Phillip Rivers will have a big game. Could see Melvin Gordon having a big game running the ball as well. And I seen a few days ago that they brought back Antonio Gates again this year. I think wouldn't surprise me if he finds the end zone 1 or 2 times as well. But I do think it'll be close. But I think Chargers will win 26-23.
Okay, fair enough. We got America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, playing against Cam Newton and his Carolina Panthers. And this was another tough game for me to decide on, but I'll speak on it in a minute. Brad, what's your opinion on this game?
I like the Panthers in this one. Pretty easy. Panthers are going to be loaded this year. I like the weapons they got. I think they're going to handle Dallas pretty easily. There's going to be a lot of salty fans either way, whoever loses this game. You know Cowboys fans are going to be crying if they lose. You know Panthers fans are going to be complaining if they lose.
Pow!
Taking up for Cam as they always do. But I think the Panthers will win this one. What do you think, Trav? This is your team, one of your 2 teams.
Yep.
What do you think?
I like Carolina. Very confident in this. I'm going to go 29-14 Carolina. I think Carolina's defense is going to have a big day. I'm interested to see that good D-line for Carolina going up a good O-line in Dallas. I think that'll be a good matchup to watch in the trenches. But I just don't think Dallas has enough on defense to stop Cam and McCaffrey. I think have a big game, and Funchess, Olsen, all them guys. I just don't think Dallas has enough on defense, and Carolina's defense is a lot better, and I think they'll do enough on defense. And I got it 29-14.
Yeah, I also think Carolina's going to win. I think it's going to be closer than what y'all two said. But Cam Newton, he'll throw for 3 TDs, might rush for 1. But he'll have a big game of fantasy, I think. I got Carolina winning 27-13.
You think Cam will be dressed like a Fruit Loop afterwards, or?
I think
That's a lock. That's one of my other locks of the week. He will be dressed as a Fruit Loop.
Yeah, homosexual. Yes.
Whoa.
He'll definitely have on something colorful, no doubt about it. Always does in the podium at the podium press conference.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I think he should be playing lingerie football, but
He'd like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. There ain't no guys out there. So.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see what he is like in the locker room. I mean, I don't know if he maybe rubs his nipples in front of other guys or pulls out his Hitchcock or whatever, his shaft. But
his Fig Newton.
Yeah, his Fig Newton. I don't know, man.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. The Washington Redskins versus the Arizona Cardinals. Many people got the Arizona Cardinals predicted to be the worst team in the NFL this year. I mean, Sam Bradford starting week 1. Brad, what do you think?
I like the Redskins in this one. Vegas has the Cardinals favored to win, I think by 1.5, actually. Yeah, believe it or not. But I guess maybe because David Johnson's coming back, but also Chandler Jones on defense has led the league in sacks the last 3 years, so that could be another reason. But yeah, I like the Redskins. I think Alex Smith's going to do great in Washington, and going to be a lot of firepower on that offense. I say they win 28-21.
Interesting game here, especially out at Arizona, but I like the Redskins in a close one. Low-scoring game, actually, in my opinion, 16-13. Like Nick touched on, I think Arizona could potentially be, if not the worst team in the league, definitely one of the worst. But for some reason, I've always been a fan of Sam Bradford. Wouldn't be surprised if he does good, but I just don't think he has enough around him. And be interested to see how David Johnson carries the ball coming back from a broken wrist and everything. But yeah, I like the Redskins though.
Yeah, the only thing I've seen Sam Bradford do consistently is tear his ACL. And I don't think winning's going to be a consistent thing this year. So I got Washington putting the beat down on Arizona.
When do you think Josh Rosen will eventually be named the starter?
But I would say week 6 to week 8.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty accurate, I would say.
Yeah, give him some experience behind Bradford.
Yeah,
Yep.
after they start 1-5.
Yeah.
All right, guys. My Seattle Seahawks is facing off at Mile High Stadium against the Denver Broncos. Travis King, what do you got?
I could be wrong. I just don't see it being much of a contest, though. I've got Denver winning pretty big, 31-13. But hey, I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle stayed in the game, because that team's going to have a chip on their shoulder, I feel like, because a lot of people is expecting them not to do so hot and so good this year. For the past few seasons, going into the seasons, there's been a lot of high expectations in Seattle. This year's like the complete opposite.
I got an interesting stat for y'all. Russell Wilson, in his 6 years of playing with the Seattle Seahawks, has only lost 3 games by more than 8 points.
Wow. That is a heck of a stat. I will give you that.
And 2 of them was last season.
Wow.
So, I mean,
That
and it came against the Los Angeles Rams in one game. They beat us 42-7. And it came against Green Bay last year. They blew us out. And then we also played Carolina in the playoffs 2 years ago.
Yes.
And y'all ended up beating us by 9 or something like
Yeah, it was
that.
close. We were up by a lot, and then y'all came back. Yep.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a close game. I think Denver's going to win. The matchup to watch in this game is Denver's D-line against that Seattle offensive line. Like, if they can just protect Wilson a little bit, they might win. But that Broncos D-line's going to get after him. It's going to be crazy. Bradley Chubb and Von Miller, they're going to have a field day on that offensive line. One of the worst offensive lines in the league. But I like Denver. I'm going to say 3-point game, 26-23.
Yeah, I think, well, that offense, we've made some minor improvements. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a cut or anything. I mean, just healing it just a tad. And we've upgraded through the draft. And we picked up J.R. Sweezy back from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year. I just think Russell Wilson keeps them in the game. And somehow, some way we pull out. Earl Thomas coming back will be big. I think it's definitely going to be low scoring. I'm going to have to go 20-17 Seattle. Guys, what do you think about Earl Thomas coming back? Do you think it's going to change anything, attitudes, fire up the locker room or anything at all?
Not a bit, because they know deep down he wants to be out of there. So if anything, it's going to create friction. He wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. That's what he said. So if anything, that would hurt him. But that Seattle defense is a thing of the past, aside from Wagner. But yeah, Wilson's going to have to carry that team.
Any high expectations for the rookie running back Rashad Penny or the second-year running back Chris Carson?
I think both of them will do good as long as the line can protect for him. I like both of them. Chris Carson was doing good last year till he got hurt, but I had him in fantasy. But yeah, and also a rookie running back for Denver, Royce Freeman. I think he's going to be really good. So keep an eye out for him.
So USA Today predicted the Seattle Seahawks to go 4-12. Y'all think that's accurate?
I have them 5-11, 6-10, so they're a little bit lower on them than I am, but I don't have much faith in them.
I would probably agree around the 4 to 6 win range, I would say. Just ain't expecting much, but I could be wrong. I think Russell Wilson's great, but just don't think he has enough around him this year.
Okay, well said. The Chicago Bears newly acquired Khalil Mack this week from the Oakland Raiders. They are going to face off against the Green Bay Packers on a Week 1 Sunday night game. I mean, I don't know what the NFL is thinking putting this game Sunday night. I don't know. I mean, I think Houston and New England should have been the Week 1 Sunday night game. But
Or you could add San Fran and Minnesota was a pretty juicy matchup as well.
Or Chiefs Chargers too.
Yeah, I agree. Who y'all got in this game?
I like Green Bay, but I think it's going to be closer than y'all think. Chicago's upgraded a lot this offseason, and then they got Khalil Mack to top it off. I mean, Chicago's going to make some noise, like I said earlier in the year. But I do like Green Bay in this game. Rodgers, he's going to show out like he always does. He's going to put up big numbers. He'll probably win MVP this year if he stays healthy. It's going to be between him, Watson, and Wentz if Wentz comes back in time. But yeah, give me that bad man, Aaron Rodgers. What do you think, Trav?
I don't like Rodgers, but we'll have to go with Green Bay in this one. I originally had it 38-14, but I'm going to drop it down to 31-14. That's how much I think of Khalil Mack and think he's a stud. And Mr. Rodgers better watch out. He better hope he don't take a hit from Khalil Mack. He might be back on the shelf if he does.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
I don't wish injury on anybody. I'm just saying, though.
But you told me behind closed doors. You told me behind closed doors he was a pussy for getting hit like he did against the Vikings and not getting up. You said most quarterbacks would have got up from that fall.
I didn't say that. I just referred to him as being a little fragile. Like people used to talk about Tony Romo being fragile.
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger, too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think if Aaron Rodgers is as worth money as everybody says he is, I think he'd be a little tougher than that. I mean, it's his collarbone, so he could stand up. I mean, it's not like he broke his leg. I mean, you saw Russell Wilson out there. I mean, he's played through injuries on injuries. I remember 2 years ago, I mean, he had a severe ankle sprain. He played the first 6 weeks of the season with
He's a mobile quarterback as well.
Yeah.
You're taking shots at the greatest quarterback to ever play the position.
If you're going to make that much money, you're going to have to be tougher than that.
Well, he wasn't making that money at the time. Now he is. He finally got paid. Deservingly so.
And now he's more fragile. He's older. He's getting out of his prime.
I wouldn't be surprised if they went to the Super Bowl this year, honestly. If they can get through the Eagles and the Saints.
No, I'm sorry. Minnesota's going to dominate that division. But Green Bay will beat Chicago in this game. Anything else to say on this game, guys?
Just one more thing. Aaron Rodgers is a bad, bad man.
All right, Stephen A. Smith, that's enough.
Go Bears.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pull for the Bears, but I'm picking the Packers on that one. I just think when it comes down to the playoffs at the end of the year, if my Seattle Seahawks are fighting for a spot, I think it'd just be better if the Bears won this week, and it might help us out. If somehow, some way, we're in the playoff conversation, of course. The New York Jets versus the Detroit Lions, the first Monday night game.
It's a sad little Monday night game we have going in week 1. I mean, they could have picked a better matchup, but it will be good to see Sam Darnold in his first career game. I think he's going to do great. I had a tough time picking this one, but I'm going to go with Detroit in a close game. The Jets won a lot of close games last year, won more games than anyone thought. They weren't supposed to win a game last year, and they won, 5 or 6. So, I mean, the Jets are going to be just fine with Sam Darnold. Travis don't think he's much, but he's going to find out Monday night that he's a big-time quarterback.
Well, my thoughts on this game, I don't see it being much of a contest. Got Detroit winning big, 34-10. I don't have anything personally against Sam Darnold. I just don't think he's going to be that great, but I wish him the best, though.
Did you know he's the youngest quarterback ever to start a game?
Really? How old is
He's
he?
21.
Wow, that is impressive.
And he already looks like, in preseason, already looked like a veteran.
But I just think first game, big stage, Monday night on the road, hostile environment. I just don't think he'll be able to do enough, and I don't think the Jets D will be able to stop Stafford and that receiving core. And I got Detroit 34-10.
What about you, Nick Bell?
I'm going to have to go with Detroit winning this one pretty big. I mean, it's like...
Pretty big? How big?
Sam Darnold, look, it's going to be like Patrick Mahomes. And Sam Darnold is playing under the lights, and it's this will be the most, I don't know how you say it, biggest atmosphere he'll play in ever in his life, unless he plays on a Sunday night game or the playoffs. And against Detroit, at Detroit, it's going to be just a tough game overall for him. But I really do got high expectations for him. I think Detroit will blow him out this game.
Really?
Yes, I just...
What are you going to say if he ends up getting a win? Because I wouldn't be surprised one bit.
If he gets a win...
Detroit doesn't have a defense. You got to think of that, too.
Okay. You're right, but Detroit's got Matthew Stafford, Golden Tate, Kenny Galladay.
Marvin Jones.
Yeah, Marvin Jones. I mean...
And what have they done with those pieces in the last few years? Nothing.
Well, they haven't made the playoffs, but Tate, I gotta admit, I had Tate and Marvin Jones on my fantasy team in years past, and they've helped me a lot. They get a bunch of TDs and yards.
I had Golden Tate last year in one or two of my teams, and he done well.
Yeah, I just think the Lions will win big. I mean, the Jets defense is going. They got a bright future ahead. the Jets' offense, I think they got a bright future ahead. Todd Bowles is the answer at coach there.
Yes.
I mean, just like last year, everybody predicted them to go 0-16 and 6 games.
Yeah, I think it was 5 or 6. So yeah, they did a lot more than people thought they would, and I think they might Monday night.
Yep. Did Forte retire?
I believe so. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
So who's that put at running back?
Bilal Powell and
Isaiah Crowell.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, receivers, they ain't bad at receiver either.
Robbie Anderson. That's somebody
Jermaine
to watch
Kearse.
out for. Jermaine Kearse, yeah.
And then they got Quincy Enunwa coming back from injury, and Terrell Pryor. They picked him up. So
Yeah, Terrell Pryor, he had some good catches in the preseason.
Mhm.
So anything else on that one, guys?
it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close, but I like the lines in it.
Okay. The Los Angeles Rams versus the Oakland Raiders, rounding out Week 1, Monday night. It's 10 o'clock game at Oakland at the Black Hole. Brad, what you got?
I got the Rams in a beatdown. It's going to be a very significant win. I don't see the Raiders standing a chance in this one. I think the Raiders this year, in a way, it's going to be a rebuilding year. And the next few years, they're going to start picking it up. John Gruden's trying to get used to head coaching again, as he's been in the booth for so many years. But, yeah, I like the Rams in this one. They're going to be a good team. They're going to be a fun team to watch. Wouldn't be surprised if they hung 40 on the Raiders, maybe 45.
See, complete opposite. This is actually my upset of the week. We got Oakland in a what would be a shocker to probably quite a few people, 27-26. I just think them playing at home, it's going to help them out a lot. And they ain't got many games left in Oakland. I know a few years down the road they're going to be in Las Vegas. So
Great city, by the way.
Yep, they're going to be fired up, knowing there's not many games left in Oakland. I don't know how they're going to get to 27 points because the Rams have such a good D, but I think they will somehow find a way, though.
And how are they going to stop the Rams on the other side of the ball? They don't have no one on defense now that Khalil Mack's gone.
I think they'll find a way, man. I can't really explain it. That sounds dumb, but
It's just a gut feeling you have.
I just like Oakland. And by the way, I think wouldn't be surprised Derek Carr could be a sleeper pick for MVP this year, in my opinion.
Yeah, I also had high expectations for Derek Carr. I mean, I brought him up as MVP consideration too.
Yeah, you did.
In our things, which it surprised me a lot when Travis King said that, because I thought I might have been losing my mind after I said that. After I thought about it.
Yeah, I think y'all both have lost your minds.
But I got the Los Angeles Rams winning easy. John Gruden been out of the booth. I mean, John Gruden said the person who made him retire from the NFL was Tom Brady. I actually read an article on that today. That's what he said. He said it's the guy he hates the most in the NFL. I don't know, guys. What do y'all think about the Rams? Did not play all their starters together not one time in the NFL preseason.
That's interesting. Maybe they just didn't want to risk injury, and they're very confident in their game plan going into the regular season. Could be why.
Well, the chemistry would be off a little bit.
Could be, but they're pretty much bringing everyone back except on offense, except Cooks is a new addition. But other than that, I mean, they're the same team. Defense is a little different, quite a bit different, but
I think Oakland's offense can keep up with anybody. So, I mean, an upset may be brewing down there at the Black Hole, but
no.
I think Los Angeles wins this game. I mean, that baseball field might get in the head of Jared Goff a little bit too.
Yeah, good.
I mean, you know, the Packers didn't play Aaron Rodgers for a reason in the preseason when they went to Oakland, because they mentioned the baseball field.
Yeah.
So the baseball field is a key factor. I mean,
I think they're the only team now that plays on a baseball field still.
Yeah, Miami was the second team, but they
now they got their new stadium though. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Los Angeles, the Rams pulled out. Jared Goff and Todd Gurley have a big game. The defense, I don't think they meet expectations in Week 1. But I got Los Angeles winning.
All right, guys. What game are you most excited to watch this week? Out of all the games.
I'm going to have to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the New York Giants.
Yep. That's going to be fun to watch. See, Ramsey and Odell Beckham might get into a brawl similar to Josh Norman a couple years ago, but that'll be fun to watch. What about you, Trav?
Well, outside my unbiased opinion of Atlanta, Philly, and Dallas and Carolina, I would probably go with Houston and New England. I like that matchup at quarterback of Watson against Brady. Brady's a definite lot for Hall of Fame, and I could see Watson being there, say, 20 years down the road from now in that same position.
Yeah, I think the most exciting game this week will be tomorrow night, Eagles and Falcons. I can't wait. Can't wait to see the Eagles raise that banner. It's been too long. It's been a long time coming, and I think they're going to be fired up. And Falcons are a good team. It's going to be a great game.
Okay, guys, what do y'all got as y'all's locks of the week?
My lock is, well, there's quite a few you could pick from, but I like the Saints over the Bucks. That's pretty easy. Also, Baltimore, Buffalo. Pretty easy, those two.
I would go Buccaneers and Saints. Saints all the way.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Ravens over the Bills. That was probably the easiest game. I didn't even think 2 seconds about that one when I saw it. So, guys, upsets of the week. I mean, I know we already mentioned one or two, but this is y'all pick. This ain't y'all's official pick, but upsets to look out for.
Well, like I said, the Giants and Jaguars is very interesting, as well as Jets Lions, and also Cleveland Pittsburgh. Those 3 games were the toughest for me to pick this week, but I went the safe route in all 3 for the sake of not going through a table. And also, it's week 1. You don't know what to expect, really. So it's better to play it safe in week 1. But any of those 3, I could see being an upset. But the upset I'm very confident about is Bengals over Colts.
Few upsets I think potentially brewing is Jaguars and Giants. 49ers and Vikings. I would not sleep on the Niners. Cleveland, I think, has a good shot at beating Pittsburgh, especially with all the controversy surrounding Le'Veon Bell and all that. And I believe that's about all I have.
What about you, Nick?
I'm going to say Seattle over Denver or Cleveland over Pittsburgh. Hell, man, I don't know. When I'm watching them 1 o'clock games, I think my eyes are going to be locked in on the TV screen of Cleveland versus Pittsburgh. I don't know. I'm pulling for Cleveland, and I hope they win. I mean, that'd be a big win for the franchise. That'd be the biggest win since Cleveland won a NBA championship there.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't mind seeing Cleveland win. You got to feel bad for a team.
They might have a parade.
Season.
Yeah. So what about y'all? Oh, you already asked me. I'm back.
Well, any final thoughts for today, guys? Anything you want to add?
I think just Colin Kaepernick.
We're going to talk about old Colin, are we?
We need to pray for him. He needs to be in our prayers. But I think he's a very unique individual.
Nothing like speaking your beliefs. I appreciate a person that does that. I don't necessarily agree with kneeling for the anthem, but it's his right to. And I am very strong. I strongly believe in freedom of speech, and he's exercising it. Nothing wrong with that. But I personally would never kneel for the anthem. But
good job. No one should kneel for the anthem. I mean,
I don't agree with kneeling myself.
Protest different ways. I mean, what did he say he was protesting over?
For police brutality.
So tell me the definition of police brutality.
Probably getting beat up by a cop, I'd imagine. And it happens to a lot of black people. Whether it's who's wrong or right, that's up for debate because the media only tells you half the story. But that's how he felt about it, and everyone has an opinion, and he shouldn't be ridiculed and blackballed for sharing his thoughts. It's really wrong in my opinion, but...
Well, why during the national anthem?
That was his platform. He has a huge platform. That's what he wanted to use it. And he also backs it up. He donates monies to charity, millions of dollars to charities he supports. He's not just doing it for attention like some people think. He really means what he says. So
I think I don't know. I mean, he got cut for a reason. I mean, it's obvious he doesn't have any respect for this country. I'd like to see him just go live in Saudi Arabia. I mean, if he did something like that over there, he'd get hung on the spot.
That's what makes being American great. Freedom of speech, man.
Yeah, freedom of speech. And some idiots just
like right now, we're expressing our
make
freedom of
extreme-
speech.
yeah, but
doing
we're-
this podcast.
We're not disrespecting the country, are we?
Not as far as I know.
No, we're not disrespecting the country. All you have to say is no, we're not disrespecting the country. I mean, we're assaulting Colin Kaepernick right now, and I wish I could talk to him to his face. I'd tell him what I thought. I ain't scared of him. I mean, if he tries to do something with me, I mean, I guess he's got to worry about police brutality. But that's
Shots fired.
yeah, pow pow. Hey, Colin Kaepernick, come meet up with me one time. We'll have a conversation. Travis King, what do you think about that? Let's get this going viral, boys.
I don't agree with them kneeling for the anthem. I used to absolutely hate them for it, but I guess I grew more at peace with it, though, as time's passed on. Like Bradley said, he does do a lot for charities and stuff, but, well, never was a fan of him when he played football before all this even came out and started happening, but I just think it's disrespectful to the country. That's my opinion, but it is what it is, though.
Yeah, I didn't like him before either. I mean, he's just a little too cocky for me. His ego was a little too much. How he flex and kiss his muscle and all
Yeah.
that. Then he grew that bush on his head, and I was, I don't even know, man. He's just a weird looking individual.
Yeah, I would agree.
Very unique. I don't know. It's just everybody's got their own opinion about him, and I guess where I grew up here in Southwest Virginia, I've been a little biased about it because a lot of people around here lean more to the Republican side.
Absolutely, no doubt
And
about that.
don't take. No one likes the kneeling for the national anthem or how Kaepernick has acted, but I mean it might be a little brainwashed, but I don't think I'm brainwashed. But any other interesting topics?
How long do y'all think Le'Veon Bell might potentially hold out for?
I'm hoping he comes back by week 2. I got him on 2 fantasy teams.
I think Pittsburgh will either give him a new deal or he'll sit out the whole season.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because what I heard is he is sitting out because he don't want to take a risk of getting injured, and if he gets injured, his new contract he signs with another team won't be as high. So
True.
once he's got that contract locked up, he'll come back.
But another way to look at that is if the Steelers running back, whoever takes his place, flourishes, it makes him look less valuable. Like that was the Steelers' running game, their offensive line, their scheme. That's what made Bell good. So it devalues him in a way too. So if I was him, I would play and let everyone know, hey, I still got it, and then he can sign his big deal next year. Setting out's going to hurt him.
Yeah, well, who's he going to sign with next year?
Who
You
knows?
had to guess.
I hope the Eagles pick him up. That'd be awesome.
How
Wouldn't
about
you like Seattle to have him?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you like Carolina and Atlanta to have him?
Kaepernick?
No, Le'Veon
Oh,
Bell.
my bad.
He went Kaepernick? No.
Yeah, absolutely. He wouldn't want Bell. He's a stud.
Yeah,
All
he
right.
is. Yeah, but he's got the same last name as me. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
that's my damn cousin right there. I mean,
What's your name?
Nick Bell.
All right, guys, that's enough for today. We are signing off.
Yep.
Shots fired.
Nick Bell, Travis King, Brad Nolen. We'll see y'all, fellas and ladies and gentlemen and whatever else there is.
Bisexuals, transgenders,
homosexuals,
cats, dogs, goats.
Kaepernicks, yeah. We'll see all y'all next Wednesday.
Week 2.
Yeah, man, I'm already going to tell y'all I'm going to be first place in the standings this time next week.
We'll see about that, Nick Bell. Signing off.
Yeah. See y'all boys later.
Pow, pow.
Later.
Huh?